Okay, I'm going to attempt to show you my little boo-boo on my V8 engine build. What happened was the water port that goes from the intake manifold into the head, and then the head into the block. Well, I don't have the hole in the block correctly. Let's see if I can kind of show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I put the head gasket on top of, laying on top of with a couple with 3 bolts in it. That hole right there is supposed to go in and intersect this hole on this side here. That's for water to go up to your like your thermostat housing. And what happened was, when I drilled that hole in there, it intersected inside. Let me pull these screws out of here. Pull this gasket off. But it intersected this counter bore here. Here, I'll get a flashlight and kind of, so I can show you. Okay, I got a flashlight here. But if you look down in that hole, if you look down in the counterboard hole there, you can see off to the outside edge of it, that hole is intersecting it. Kind of shaky here. Don't want to focus on that close. You can see, if you look real close, you can see it there. It's off to the right hand side of that hole, of that counterboard hole. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is make a little, almost like a real thick washer that'll press fit into that counterbore and go down in there, and I'll Loctite that in place. The bolt will hold it in place, but I want it tight so the water's not going to leak. Yeah, or because otherwise the water would end up leaking out of there. And my little setup here on the mill with my high speed actually worked pretty good. Buzzed right around them. I got a little metal that I put over top of them so it didn't lift them up and peel them up. And what I did was I put that on there on top of the material, clamped here and here, and did the cylinder bores, and then I put these washers in here with a bolt and pinched it down. Now that I can't do it left-handed here, but anyway, I pinched them down, basically sandwiched them down, and then went ahead, milled the profile, and the holes, the cylinder bolt and all the other small holes, I generated all of them. I didn't drill any holes. I generated everything with that little end mill. It worked pretty good. They came out and they're looking pretty decent. And then I started to go ahead and look at putting it together, and I came over here and go, oh yeah, there's a hole right here. What's that for? So then I started looking, oh crap, I got another little project going here too. Control box here, I'm going to make it so that I can have my console control it, or I can manually control it, and then I'm going to have it switch from flood coolant to an air mist. So I'm going to take that and mount that below my switch. So I've been kind of soldering things up, and I'm waiting for some fuse holders right now. I ordered some fuse holders. I had to stop. I want to put fuse on all 3 circuits. I'm going to put a different relay in so that it can handle a bigger coolant pump. So what's coming right now is going to trigger the relay, which will handle more amps than what my console will. So, and that's going to get mounted right up here below my switch. So I'll be able to flip from console to manual, turn the flood coolant on and off, and I think I'm going to like it. I know I like my home switches. I've got that set. Now I don't have to worry about this vise going back and hitting anything in the back. And you know, the machine home is just right here, you know, just beside the vise, instead of way down over there at the other end. Anyway, I'll have to work on fixing that. What I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to try to ream those counter bores up to ream that counter bore up to a standard size. Turn up a little aluminum plug with a good press, you know. Actually, I might turn it up with a slip fit and then use some permanent Loctite and Loctite it in position, because that Loctite will seal that right up. It won't leak then. And I'll have to use a little longer bolt in that one hole, cylinder head bolt. But there is another little thing that I have to do with it though, and that is, okay, so this hole here goes in at an angle over here, and in order to get let's see, like this, get it right here. In order to get over to this here, I'm not going to be able to drill a hole down in there, because it's going to intersect also that. I'd have to drill this hole deeper and it would come out the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole back here further. I'm going to drill it back here and mill a slot up to this hole where it needs to be. So basically it'll be a hole here and a slot up to intersect that hole, so that the coolant can flow in between. I thought that I seen Steve had a picture somewhere of something very similar. I know on the back of the engine it's that way, and it's not. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. You know, basically it'll still be a coolant passage, you know, because the hole will be right about here, and then the original hole in the head gasket and in the block is up here. So I'm just going to connect them with a slot in between. Hopefully that'll work. Otherwise I'll have to make the heads over, or plug that hole. I could drill that all the way through, plug it, and weld it on both ends, and then try to re-drill it. It's either I had this hole at the wrong angle or in the wrong position, but it matches the manifold head, so, or the manifold, intake manifold, so I'm not sure where I made the mistake. If I wouldn't have counterbored that deep, I suppose if I would have stayed way up. Well, anyway, that's my plan on fixing it. When I actually start machining something, maybe I will keep everybody informed and do a little video on a repair. You know, the thing is, when you're a machinist you have to figure out fixes for things like that. You know, sometimes you instead of throwing it, I mean, where I work, they'd throw it away, start over. You know, and to me, it's such a waste, because I can get it to perform the same function and save myself a lot of work and time. Anyway, that's it for now. Catch you guys later. Okay, I decided to go ahead and start. I've definitely come to a plan here of cleaning that hole up, boring it up to a size, and then I was going to try to ream it, but I have no reamers that size, so I'm going to end up boring that little hole. And I'm going to set it up here on the mill and dial her in, and we'll take a bore cut on that hole. So I'm taking, I'll set it up this way here. It's hole back, right back here. It's this hole right here. So I'm taking this, just clamp her in there, lightly clamp it in. It's not gonna, and then I put the boring head in. Switch to a 3/4 inch collet for it. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Got to dial it in first. I don't know where that hole's at. Well, I do know where the hole's at. It's right there. But I gotta dial that hole in first. Silly. All right. And I might have to raise the knee up. Yeah, I gotta raise the knee up. Okay, can you still see? Kinda, sorta. Okay. Yeah. I kind of like to spin it around to see where I'm at. Lots of oil. That's actually a good sign, though. I want to have oil down there. All right. Crank her over and eyeball it. Looks like it's going to go that way. All right, let's drop her in the hole here. Set the indicator up against it. There's 0. Not touching over there. Okay, 5 below over there, 5 below there. All right. Okay. Let's get 0 here, 0. And we are 2.5, so we want to try to shoot for 1 1/4. Okay. 0. 0. Pretty good right there. Lock her down. Lock her down. And then we'll take and put in a boring head. Where's my wrench? Where did I do with my wrench? In front of me here. Okay. Put the boring head in there. Hopefully I got bushings for this boring bar that I got picked out here for it to fit, because it's not going to fit. Wrong. Keep looking here. I don't know if I ever used this boring bar in that boring head. So I'm gonna have to looks like I'm gonna have to make a bushing for this boring bar to fit into that head, unless I can find another boring bar. That will fit in that hole. That won't fit in the hole, too big. I need to make more boring bars. It looks like that's about the only boring bar I've got that'll fit in that hole. Well, I'll have to shut off the camera here and go and make a sleeve for that, maybe. Okay, I'm back out in the garage. I'm about to fix my mess up here. That I made a little sleeve for a little my small boring bar. I got the hole dialed in, and I'm still setting it up. I adjusted it down. I adjusted the boring bar down so it fit into the hole. Now I'm going to come down in the hole and I'm going to find the bottom. I'm just going to touch the bottom. And then I'm going to lock it there, and then I'm going to set my stop up here to kick out on that depth. I don't want to go any deeper. I just want to clean the hole up so that I have a nice pressed fit in that hole. So I'll turn the stop up tight against the quill stop. Turn it up tight. I don't want it to hit the bottom. Okay. So then I'll come up here. I'll bring it back out of the hole, and I'm going to adjust it. I don't know if I can zoom into. Come on. It doesn't want to focus on that. But anyway, I'm going to adjust the boring bar out until it just scratches the hole, because I really don't want to take a whole lot out of it. I just want to be able to. Now you can't see nothing with my light in the way. I just want to be able to, clean it up so that it gets a nice press when I make my plug for it. And I have to do this to both heads. All right, right there is where it's just scratching it. Right down to the bottom, and try to get a mirror to look down in the hole there so that I can see if I looks like I might want to go just a tad deeper. I'm going to crank my knee up 5 thou. Want a good seat on the bottom so that it seals up. I want it leaking. I think that looks pretty good. I'll take it out and take a look at it. And chips are stuck in the hole here. That looks good. See if I can. You can't. It doesn't want to focus on anything. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make a plug for this one. I'm going to do one before I go ahead and do the other, and put it in place. I'm going to leave the boring head set to where it's set, and then I'm going to go over to the lathe and make a little plug for that. Okay, I'm over here on the surface plate, and if you look on this side of the hole down in the bottom there, down kind of down kitty corner, you can see the little hole that I have in there. I've got a little plug made up right here. I'm going to take and put that in there. But first I want to put some Loctite in there. Dab a little Loctite on in the hole here. Doesn't take much. Okay, got some Loctite in that hole. Some permanent stuff. And we will attempt to put this in that hole. Hopefully it'll fit. Should be just a nice, almost a slip fit, just a light press on it. And we'll take in, what can I use here? Tap it into place. If I let it sit there too long, that Loctite does have a tendency to set up. Okay. Okay, That's down in there. I'm going to let that Loctite set up before I re-drill the hole. I'll just go in from the back side here. The bolt, the hole for the head bolt, not the hole for the water jacket. The water jacket, I am going to set it up on the surface plate and scribe the center line out on here so I know where I can drill the hole and then mill a slot over to where it's supposed to be. So that is the plan anyway. Because right now is put this gasket on here. You can see where the hole is supposed to be. Get a couple bolts to line that head gasket up. Kind of a scratchy throat. So it goes like, whoop. What am I doing here? Oh, it goes this way. Right here. So I'll stick that bolt in there for now. Stick this bolt in here. Just to kind of hold it in place. Okay, I'm gonna get a magic marker or grease pencil, and I'm going to just mark that just for reference. Let's put this screw down on the other end all the way. Okay. So now if I can hold that there, I'm going here. That's where that hole is supposed to be. That's the hole that comes out of the engine block. Water comes through the engine block and it comes up here. And I'm having a feeling that, you know, when I scribe this out, that it's going to be kind of looking like, well, let's see, I had to put a pin in there or a drill to line it up so I can kind of see. Oh, that's an 1/8 inch, I believe. 1/8 inch drill. And line that up, kind of eyeball it. Yeah, see it's like that. And this corner right here is caught the counterbore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, drill the hole right here somewhere, and then mill a slot over to here. It's just for water, so that the water can follow the slot up to this hole. Actually, don't have to drill a hole there. Just needs to be, that needs to be the end of the slot right there. So I think what I'll do is I'll set it up on the surface plate here and check this, dial that angle in, and then scribe a line on there so I know exactly where that center line is. So where's my? I'll have to get my knee out of the cabinet here. And let's see if I can. Okay, so I'm going to set it like this way. screw to clamp that on there like that. All right. Just use a can twist clamp, a small one. So I want it to sit like that. You gotta be careful where I clamp here. I don't want to wreck something. I'm not gonna clamp it tight. All I want to do is get a scribe line. Let's go. Need 10 hands here. Go over to this side. Make sure I ain't hitting, whoops. I don't want to hit any of the valve springs. Okay. I got it kind of clamped up there. And what I'm going to do, use my handy dandy little angle finder here, electronic angle. I'm going to zero it out on the surface plate. I zeroed it out here. I'm just going to go on that drill. Try to get it close. That's pretty close right there already. So, what I'm going to do is take that over there. Take a scribe. And set that scribe to the center of the hole, or thereabouts, pretty close. And then I can just put a scratch line on here. There. So now I know where that, oh, I know where that hole is at the angle it's going through, where it's at. So, let's maybe up here. So now I know that we're at the angle, so I know where I can drill that hole. And I know it hit that. I'm not exactly sure of the depth, so we can put that in there. So I stopped right about where the counterbore is on there. So if I drill just on this side, I should hit that hole and then just mill a slot up to there. That is the plan for fixing this carbuncle or whatever you want to call it. I got to go back in here and drill that out for I Actually, it's the drill right here, 1/8 inch. But I want to make sure, I'm going to leave this sit overnight and set up real good. And like I say, this screw here is going to have to be longer. It'll be just a little longer screw. I still might be able to take it down a little bit, because I'm going to run into another problem here. See if that's going to be a problem. Yep, it will. Can't be that plug that I put in there cannot be that tall, so I'll have to go back in after I drill it. I'll go back in with a counterbore tool and go down, but I'm going to stay 100 thou away from the bottom of it. I've got a different rocker system on one of them that I'm doing, and instead of putting the traditional rockers, I made these little rocker rails, or whatever you want to call it, and the rockers go in here, and that whole rail system will fit in there like that. And I didn't the traditional what the plan called for actually got real close, and actually rubbed on mine a little bit, the rock or the push rods, and I didn't like it. I always got to change stuff, so you know. But anyway, I changed it so that I'm going to end up putting these in here and going with my own style on one of them. On one of them, I'm going to go ahead and I've already got the rockers made up. If I can find them here. I got too many little boxes. Yeah, right here. I have all the little rockers all made up for them. With the only thing is, I don't have the studs made for them yet. I have the little rocker plugs that go in them that they rock on, or post or whatever. This one's got one of them in, got one in it. And one of the motors will have this, and one of the motors will have this other style. So when I get that far, if I don't find any more mistakes, hopefully not. So I will catch you again tomorrow, because like I say, I'm going to leave this set overnight and before I work with it. Okay, the Loctite setup, nice overnight. It was nice and solid. I went ahead and set it up on my mill, and I will show you what I did here. I took and drilled a hole, just a little, spotted a little hole on it down here where the hole is supposed to intersect. Being that I couldn't drill it without, or I couldn't drill this one in without hitting that counterbore again. So anyway, I didn't want to chance drilling that through, so I just milled a slot in to connect to where it's going to go, and that way it'll connect this water passage over here to this hole over here, or this little spotted hole that I put in. Oop, sorry. So it should work. I'm going to go ahead, and now I'm going to start putting things together for real. So it hopefully I won't have to take anything else apart once I get it going here. And who knows, maybe I'll hear some noise out of the thing before Christmas is over. Because over Christmas vacation I plan on dedicating some time to it. That's all I'm going to do for today. I got the other, I still have the other head to do the same thing that I did to this head for the other engine. I got 2 engines going here that I'm building, and I was consistent. I made the mistake on both of them, so I don't know how I did it, but I did. I didn't go back. I did not go back and check the drawing to this, but in my model, it should have never hit. I modeled everything up in CAD, and if I made it to what the CAD model shows, it shouldn't have hit. But apparently, I didn't do that. So anyway, I will go in and piece these pieces of video together and try to get it uploaded. Catch you later.